Welcome to Yoga Nidra for trauma healing and release. My name's Jess, and the purpose of this class is to help you effortlessly release residue from past trauma, expel it from the body effortlessly. So go ahead and find a comfortable position. You could be laying down on your back, on the floor, on a bed, it doesn't matter. Or if seated works better, just be comfortable. You may like to close your eyes, but you can always leave them a sliver open, about 1/10. And very simply, for the next several breaths, just think the word release each time you exhale. Letting your inhales be full, luxurious even. And with each exhale, you think the word release. That's it. Now, I'd like for us to come together and create a sankalpa, as we call it in the yoga tradition. Another name I have for it is a future memory. So a snapshot or a small clip from the future. A time and place in which you are recalling the simple fact that a past event that had been disturbing but no longer is. So a moment of recognition, that thing that used to take over, that used to cause anxiety or uneasiness or fear or any sort of discomfort, any sort of preoccupation, simply has not shown up in quite some time. So in this future memory, you are remembering the last few days or even the last few weeks and realizing, oh my God, that thing that used to always kick on by itself, derail me out of nowhere, it hasn't happened. I can't remember the last time this thing showed up. And you get this little smile on your face. So what I want you to see in this future memory, it's very important that we create crystal clear details. So maybe you're brushing your teeth, maybe you're tucking yourself into bed or having that last sip of water before you close out the day, something toward the end of the day, something that happens pretty much every day around that time. And in that moment, it's very internal to you. You sort of pause and you realize, wait a second, wow. And so I want you to see what you're wearing in that moment, what exactly you're doing, if there's any sound in the background, if there's texture that you can feel against your skin or your feet, if there's a smell, maybe it's a candle or from the dinner you cooked, your face cream, whatever it might be, bringing in as much sensory detail here as possible, making it really vivid. Maybe you're looking yourself in the mirror. And once you've got it, that is the sankalpa, that is the goal. That is sort of like the GPS coordinate that we are going to give to your subconscious mind. So let us represent this intention, this future memory, with a beautiful color, the first color that comes to mind. Perfect. And so now our energy comes together to infuse, enliven this intention. As our energy comes together, it becomes more expansive, more powerful. And this energy begins to move in the direction of this future memory, this intention. So with each inhale, for the next several breaths, breathing in almost as though you could breathe in particles of light in this color, this beautiful color. As you exhale, thinking the word release. Inhale your color, representing the direction, intention, command. Exhaling, release, releasing anything that is no longer valuable. You don't even have to think about what that might be, simply trusting that the exhale carries with it all residue from the past, anything that is no longer happening, no longer valuable. That's it. And in a moment, shifting gears, bringing all of your attention to your feet. Simply sensing and feeling your feet. You do not have to move your feet, adjust your feet. Feeling the density, the location, the sensation in your feet. In your ankles now. Sensing into your calves, your shins, your knees, your hamstrings, your quads, your thighs, your thigh bones, your hips, your buttocks, your entire pelvis, the bones, the ligaments, the tendons. And now your entire lower body, from the soles of your feet all the way up to the pelvis, the hips. And you notice this entire lower region of the body becomes illuminated with this same beautiful light. There's a buzzing, there's a humming, a healing. And this healing energy, this healing light begins to travel from the pelvis up through the lower abdomen, the lower back, the sides of your waist, up into the rib cage, through your diaphragm, infusing the organs of digestion up into the lungs, the heart, the pecs, the armpits, the shoulder blades, the upper back, the shoulders, through the arms, all the way into the elbows, filling your biceps, your triceps, your forearms, your wrists, palms of your hands, all the way to the fingertips, steeping in this healing light. Up through your neck, seeping into the base of your skull, the back of your head, behind your ears, inside of your ears, into your cheeks, your chin, your lips, your nose, inside of your mouth, your gums, your teeth, your tongue, the back of your throat, the soft palate, the interior, the brain, the sockets of the eyes themselves, the eyebrows, the eyelashes, every hair follicle, every strand of hair lit up with this brilliant, healing light. Aware now of the entire body, the density, the presence of not just a body, more than a body, this field of light, almost like a hologram, field of energy, spirit, soul. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in, see this hologram, see this field of light, glowing, buzzing, humming, hold. And as you exhale, thinking the word release. Now, once again, shifting gears, you're going to see yourself inside of a restaurant. And this is not just any old restaurant. This is like a super upscale, bougie restaurant. It's got white tablecloths and the waiters are all dressed in suits and ties. There's fancy silverware, multiple sized forks, knives, goblets, the whole shebang. And your water is even getting refilled every time you take a sip. Abundance and excess is all around you. And as you sit down, the waiter comes right over and hands you another fork and then turns around and walks away. And so you look down at the fork and then you look back at the waiter and you don't really think too much about it until the waiter comes back, gives you another fork, and then walks away. So you look at the fork, then you look at the waiter, and you think to yourself, that's an unnecessary fork. Say it out loud with me now. That's an unnecessary fork. But you leave it there. It's not hurting anyone. You just have excess forks. But then the waiter comes back again and drops off another fork at your table. So you look up and say to him out loud, that's an unnecessary fork. And then let's say it a little nicer. Thank you for the unnecessary fork. The waiter still leaves it on the table, and so you just carry on with all these unnecessary forks. But then he comes over and gives you 3 more forks. And you say out loud to him again, thank you, but I don't need another fork, and I have another one in case I drop this one. And the waiter says back to you, yes, but you are so important to me, so I'm just going to leave these other forks here. And then you say again with me, thank you for the unnecessary fork. Thank you for the unnecessary strength. And thank you for the unnecessary fork. Again, thank you for the unnecessary fork. Thank you for the unnecessary strength. Now, you're still at the restaurant and you decide that you're thirsty. You're already holding this water goblet, this lovely water goblet. So you just take a refreshing, crisp sip of the water. And here comes the waiter, sure enough, running back to your table with more water. He pours it in and you say out loud, thank you for this unnecessary strength. Again, thank you for this unnecessary strength. Now, just briefly bring to mind the past experience that you've been struggling with and feel the feeling of that. And once you've got it, say out loud, thank you for this unnecessary strength. Great job. Next, the waiter comes with a plate. You might as well accept the plate and say, thank you for the unnecessary plate. Now, again, go ahead, just briefly think of the past experience you've been struggling with that's been bringing up unnecessary feelings, and see yourself through a security camera's eyes, a security camera's perspective, and you're seeing yourself from the perspective of the security camera. It's in the corner of the restaurant, and you're experiencing the feeling that's been coming up as a result of that past experience. So bringing up these unnecessary feelings, you're seeing yourself having that experience, recognizing these feelings are not necessary, and yet here they are. And see yourself in that moment saying to yourself, thank you for the unnecessary plate. Now, see yourself again through the security camera's perspective, experiencing those emotions, those feelings, those unnecessary feelings, and say to yourself, here and now, out loud, thank you for the unnecessary plate. Thank you for the unnecessary strength. Again, see the situation where you're experiencing those unnecessary feelings, unnecessary emotions. Feel the feeling of it. And one more time, say again, out loud, thank you for the unnecessary fork. Thank you for the unnecessary water. Thank you for the unnecessary plate. Thank you for the unnecessary strength. Good, now take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, think the word release. That's it. Now, you step outside after your meal, and it was like one of the best meals of your life. You're making your way to the parking lot just next to the upscale restaurant. all of a sudden you see a wall made of ice. And through this semi-translucent wall of ice, it's like this big, thick wall of ice, you see a treasure chest on the other side. And you don't quite know what's inside of this chest. All you know is that it's worthwhile to get to the other side. But how are you going to get to the other side of a 12-foot wall made of ice? And then you notice that this wall has represented the struggles of the past, experiences of the past that haven't felt the best, that may have felt dreary or hard or heavy, resistant, impossible, dense, immovable, inflexible. And before this, you would have felt like that ice was a reason not to claim your treasure, but now you know better. You see better. You realize you're well-resourced. You're solution-oriented. You see options and opportunities where once there were obstacles. Mind attaches interest and appeal to taking action, and now it feels so good to have done, and it feels so good to do. So mind, seeing this giant wall made of ice, but also immediately seeing a giant white water hose curled up and attached to the restaurant, you just start to uncurl the hose. You turn it on and you feel the heat instantaneously rushing through the pipe. You look at the hot, steamy water rushing out of the hose. You look at the wall of ice. You look at the hose. You look at the wall. Mind builds connection. Mind sees solution. What has been is no longer, and what is no longer doesn't exist. What no longer exists is no longer a problem. It no longer exists. Say it with me out loud now. It no longer exists. It doesn't exist. It no longer exists. It doesn't exist. What could have been, would have been, should have been, doesn't exist. Take a deep breath in. See your color filling you up. Breathe out the word release. And so you just pick up the hose, aim it at the wall, rotate the metallic valve 5 or 6 times to turn it on full blast, and a rapid stream of hot, steamy, sizzling, crystal clear water leaves the hose and blasts the wall, melting, melting, melting it down, disintegrating, dissolving, melting it away. And you can see these little ice crystals dissolving as the water makes contact with the ice, dissolve, dissolve, melt, melt, melt away. This wall shrinks shorter and shorter and smaller and smaller. The wall turns into this slushy puddle on the ground, melting more and more, making its way into a rainwater drain nearby. It's draining, draining, draining this mixture of ice that's now water and the water that came from the hose until it is simply gone. Down the drain it goes, no longer standing in your way. And all of a sudden, the box of treasure is right there. It's accessible to you. It's right there. You can walk straight up to it. So you walk up to it and you open it to see what's inside. A treasure awaits you. What's inside of the box? You notice it's a gift for you, a gift from the unconscious. It's something you hadn't noticed before, but now you're holding it in your hands. What is this treasure? What do you see? Is it a message? Is it a symbol? Is it a knowing? And whatever is in this treasure chest, it's perfect for you. It is exactly what your mind wants you to know, to be clear and free. To be free and clear. Take a deep breath in, thinking the words clear and free. Hold and release, thinking the word release. Again, inhaling the words clear and free, hold, and breathe out, release. Once more, clear and free, taking in your colored light, and release. Now, just return to natural, effortless breathing. There's nothing for you to do or not do as your inner mind integrates and updates with the useful, valuable information so that from this point forward, mind is only entertaining that which has value, that which is replenishing and leads to actions that restore, uplift, inspire, actions that bring satisfaction, harmony, and health. Should you like to enhance this subconscious update, you simply breathe in that beautiful, luminous color and exhale, think the word release. You do it throughout the day. You do it as you wash your hands. You do it while you're driving. You do it while you're working, while you're showering, while you're eating. You just do it again and again. And just to breathe in this beautiful color is to heal, restore, to arrive in this moment where you are safe, secure, healthy, free, and clear. Please feel free to linger, absorb, and when you're ready, only when you're really ready, you may find your way back up to where your eyes can open. I recommend taking it really easy for the rest of the day and hydrate. Just like after you get a massage or some type of a treatment, the body is flushing, is releasing what's no longer needed. You may enhance that flushing, that detoxification with cool, fresh water. I hope you enjoyed. See you soon.